The last passenger. The rain had already started by the time Nora left the diner. It wasn't supposed to storm that night, but the sky over Crescent Hill had a way of changing its mind without warning. Nora tightened her coat around her and hurried toward the bus stop. It was almost 11 p.m., too late for comfort in a town where the streetlights flickered more than they glowed. She checked her phone. 11 minutes until the last bus. Just enough time to get home to her teenage son, Liam, who hated sleeping alone during thunderstorms. As the rain thickened, Nora ducked under the bus shelter and noticed she wasn't alone. A man sat on the far bench, soaking wet, dressed in outdated clothes. A beige jacket, slacks, and shoes far too thin for rain like this. He kept his head low, staring at his hands. Something about him felt still. Not dangerous, just quiet. Some weather, huh? Nora said, trying to be polite. The man lifted his gaze. His eyes were kind, but very tired. I've seen worse, he murmured. Before Nora could respond, the bus rumbled toward them, hissing as it stopped. The doors opened with a metallic groan. Last bus of the night, the driver called. Nora stepped on and scanned her card. The man followed her but paused before boarding, whispering something to the driver that Nora didn't catch. The driver gave a stiff nod. They rode in silence. Only 3 passengers total. Nora, the quiet man, and an elderly woman knitting in the back. But after a few stops, the elderly woman got off, leaving just Nora and the man. He sat across from her, staring at the dark window. You heading home? He asked gently. Yes, Nora said. My son's waiting. The man nodded slowly. You're a good mother. Nora glanced at him, surprised. You don't even know me. He smiled faintly. It's obvious. He's lucky to have you. There was something sad beneath his words, like he was speaking from experience. The bus jolted to a sudden stop. The driver turned on the interior light. End of the line. Nora frowned. But this isn't my stop. You need to get off, the driver said firmly, eyes flicking toward the man behind her. Both of you. Confused but unsettled. Nora stepped out into the rain. The man followed her, then stopped on the curb. I can walk you the rest of the way, he offered. She hesitated, but something about him felt safe, not threatening. They walked together through the quiet streets. The storm softened, leaving only a misty drizzle. As they passed an old bakery, the man spoke again. I had a daughter, he said quietly. She was about your son's age. Nora slowed. I'm sorry, she said. What happened? He swallowed hard. I wasn't there for her. Not enough. Not when it mattered. Nora's heart tugged. Did something happen to her? The man looked up, and for the first time she noticed how pale he was. How strangely cold the air around him felt. She died, he whispered. A car accident. Rainy night, just like this. Nora stopped walking. The street was silent. Even the sound of rain felt distant. I would give anything, he continued. Anything at all, to go back and be the father she needed. Nora felt frozen in place. She didn't know what to say. Grief this heavy had its own language, and she didn't speak it. The man stepped back, giving her a soft, grateful smile. You should go home now, he said. Your boy will be worried. Nora blinked, and suddenly headlights appeared at the far end of the street. Another bus, but that didn't make sense. It was long past the route's closing time. As it approached, Nora saw the number. Route 17 last evening loop. The same bus she had been on. Same number. Same route. The doors opened. The driver leaned out slightly, eyes wide when he saw Nora. Ma'am, what are you doing out here? His voice trembled. You weren't on the bus. Nora's stomach dropped. What do you mean? I was just. He turned. The man was gone. No footsteps. No splash of water where he'd stood. Only the soft drizzle and the hum of the streetlight. The driver looked shaken. That stretch you were walking. Someone died there years ago, he whispered. Man in a beige jacket. hit by a car while trying to get home to his daughter. Nora felt a chill crawl through her. She stepped onto the bus slowly, her heart beating hard. As the doors closed, she pressed her forehead to the window, scanning the shadows. Nothing, but she heard a voice, faint as the rain. Be there for him, while you still can.